Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. Today's guest is this incredible actor known by the name of Thomas Zellers, who's going to be playing the role of Scarecrow, this incredible DC character in this fan film series called Barbra. So I'm going to add Thomas into the live now to have a chat with Thomas about his role as Scarecrow. So yeah, let's add Thomas in. Here we go. Hey, Thomas,
Hey,
what's up?
man.
Yeah, pretty good.
I got a light here. Maybe I can turn that on, and there we go. All right.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Thomas, for making an appearance on my show. It's such a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You're very welcome. To people that don't know who you are, Thomas, so if you can give a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Thomas Zellers. I'm a writer, an actor out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and I've been acting professionally now for probably about the past, I would say, year and a half, 2 years now. But I've sort of had a passion for acting and filmmaking pretty much since I was a child. So.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now. So for my very first question, you'll be playing the role of Scarecrow in this fan film series coming very soon, called Barbra. What can people expect to see from your version of Scarecrow?
A lot of horror. That's something that that character is just encompassed by. And so we really want to make sure that when people see him, that they're frightened to see him. So I'm really excited to hopefully scare some people. My mom doesn't really like horror movies a whole lot, so I hope she'll actually she'll watch it.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So when you first got the role of Scarecrow, what were your emotions like when you first got casted in the role of Scarecrow?
Well, it was actually really interesting because Brian Bowles, our director, he told me, hey, so I'm putting together this thing, and I'd like you to write it for me. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then a couple days went by, and then he was like, hey, so Scarecrow's going to be in it, and he's your favorite Batman villain, right? I said, yeah. He said, would you like to be him? I was like, yeah, totally. But like inside my head, like fireworks were shooting off, and I was like, ah! Like, so I was so excited that Brian considered me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So how can people relate to your Scarecrow from other actors that have played Scarecrow before?
Well, the only actor I know of that has played Scarecrow, at least that would be well known, would be Cillian Murphy in The Batman Begins. Film with Christopher Nolan. So I feel like what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to make him stand out differently than we've seen him before in video games and in films and TV shows and whatnot. So we're trying to go for something completely original with him, and hopefully that'll give the fans something to latch onto and be like, wow, they went all out with that guy.
So on to my very next question. So if your Scarecrow could have any memorable moment in the Barbra fan film, what memorable moment would you want for your Scarecrow and why?
I can't talk about that one, I don't think.
Feel good. So so we'll dive. So with the whole role of Scarecrow, we'll dive. So with the DC universe and Scarecrow, if you could bring Scarecrow into the DC universe again, what next would you like to see from Scarecrow?
Oh gosh, I'd like to see a lot of psychological horror brought in. I feel like that's just a really underrated aspect of horror. Like, you usually see a lot of blood and guts, and that stuff really kind of is icky to me, and I don't like it. But the stuff that really gets people is like in a dark room, and you just feel that presence around you, and you're like, I feel like somebody else is in this room with me. And I would really love, like, if we could do that, or just if any iteration of Scarecrow could do that in the future. I think that would just be completely, just, that'd be badass.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So why should people watch Barbra when it gets released?
Because it's a very human story. Barbra, the Batgirl story, it's a very tragic story. And I feel like as humans, we always have like those ups and downs and those roller coasters in our lives. I'm sure you've had some stuff. I know I've had stuff go on in my life. And we just really want to make sure that we do her story justice, but we also do the story justice in such a way that when people watch it, they feel something for that character. I actually have a friend of mine from work who was in the military and was very open to me about his PTSD and how it's affected him in his life and how he's seen it affect other people's lives as well. And when I was speaking with Brian about where we would go with the story, that was definitely the topic that kept coming up, was how would somebody deal with this sort of situation right off of the bat, just right off the bat, almost quite literally. And so that's something that I hope we tackle, and something that I hope we do really well in the film. And if anybody out there deals with, just like you feel like you're not worth it, or if you feel like the world's just crumbling around you, like there is reason to keep going. For me, that was filmmaking and writing and the grace of God, and whatever it is for you, I hope that you find it and that you use it to better yourself and continue on.
So on to my very next question. So who would be your all-time favorite DC hero and why?
DC hero, Aquaman. Aquaman. I love Aquaman. I think he's completely underrated. The dude is basically Superman underwater. And plus, I love the water. I love being in the water. I love water sports, snorkeling, kayaking, all that sort of stuff. So.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So who would be your all-time favorite DC villain and why, apart from Scarecrow?
DC villain that's not Scarecrow?
Yeah.
If that were the case, Brian Bowles wouldn't have a job on this next film as the Joker. I'd say that.
Awesome. So on to the very next question for you. So if your Scarecrow could team up with any DC villain, who would it be and why?
Gosh. That's a hard one, Jake. You're making me think on that. Gosh, I'd probably have to say the one that makes most sense to me, I'd think, would probably be Poison Ivy. I think. To me, I don't know. It just makes sense because he uses fear toxin, and she works with toxin. So I feel like she would be the supplier, and whatnot. I don't know. I think that would be a cool little combination, I think. Yeah.
So on to the very next question. So who inspired you as a person to get into acting in the first place?
Well, whenever I was a kid, I remember watching Jurassic Park with my brother, and it was that famous scene I'm sure we all know of the raptors jumping around on the counters in the kitchen. And me and my brother, we would jump on the counters and just pretend, and we would actually fight. We almost got into like legit fist fights, me and my brother, over who got to be the raptor that got to jump onto the counter. And because that was a pretty big deal. And I'm pretty sure it still is to me and my brother this day. that sort of got, I guess, the gears turning. But it wasn't really until I saw Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, Curse of the Black Pearl, that I was just like, wow, that was like really cool. And I found myself imitating him in the mirror, and I was just like, I really want to get more into this. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I haven't stopped ever since.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So what have you learned about yourself as a person during COVID?
Patience. Patience has been probably the biggest thing. Just patience with myself, patience with others, patience with the world. I know that I tend to be very optimistic in sort of situations like this. I remember when the quarantine first happened and everybody was upset and freaking out, that I was sort of the I was really sort of the optimist of pretty much almost everybody I thought I knew. And I'd be like, oh, it's okay. It's not going to get too crazy. And then the virus got too crazy. So I've just learned to be patient with others, patient with myself, and really just patient with the world, and trying to keep calm and understand that there are just some things that I'm not in control of, and it's okay. And to just kind of accept that, keep moving on, and just keep doing you.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So if you could be in any TV or movie franchise, what would it be and why?
Any TV, movie, and franchise. Oh, gosh. Any one of them. There's a lot of them, Jake. I don't know. Dexter, probably. I don't know. But then I run the risk of getting killed. Well, that's only if I've done something bad, though. That's only if I've done something bad. Gosh. I don't know. I guess I'd have to be that stereotypical guy. Since Zack Snyder's cut's coming out and we're talking DC, I'd probably have to say the Justice League right now. I'd probably have to say that. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Yeah.
Did you hear that they're actually trying to do that whole Superman reboot?
I heard that they're doing a Superman reboot. I haven't really heard anything else. I don't know if they're going to keep Henry Cavill. I kind of hope they do, because I really like his performance as Superman. I think he's pretty solid there. But I'm happy with whatever they go with, because I'm a big DC fan. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a big old comic book collection right down there. The vast majority of those are DC comics. I think I only have like maybe 2 Marvel comics, and that's Moon Knight and Wolverine. So
I actually tell you what, you would actually be pretty cool in. I could actually see you a part of the Arrowverse. You would be pretty dope in the Arrowverse.
okay, all right. Who would I be?
That's a good question. I could actually possibly see you as a Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I could probably.
We haven't seen that before in the Arrowverse, so it would be cool to see like a Bruce Wayne come into the Arrowverse, and yeah, you would probably be that great fit for a Bruce Wayne button. Yeah.
Ginger Bruce Wayne here. Yeah.
Yeah. So on to my very next question for you. Yeah. So what are the positives and negatives into the whole acting industry, and how do you get through those negatives as a person?
Well, a lot of positives are, well, for me personally, it's just your own little world. You can do whatever you want. I mean, the air you breathe, it's all yours. You know, you can do whatever you want. And I think that's just really awesome. Because human beings, like, whenever you sit down and you're texting somebody, it's because you're bored. Humans were constantly bored, and we crave melodrama, we crave fiction. And I just think that it's really interesting that our minds can go to those sorts of places and just create something. Like the fact that Shigeru Miyamoto um, who created Zelda, just as a kid, walked into a cave with a lantern and was just like awe-inspired of what he saw. And then he was like, I'm gonna put that in a video game. Like, who thinks of doing stuff like that, you know? I just think it's really a great escape for everybody that's involved in it, because you can tell whatever story you want, you can be whatever you want. I mean, and that's another fun thing too. Like you can go in a hover car in a movie, or you can go to a spaceship all the way to Mars and try to survive all by yourself while your friends back on Earth are trying to find ways to save you. You know, there's just so many different possibilities. There's so many things you can do. And I think that's, there's no limit to imagination when it comes to the positive aspects. When it comes to like anything negative, I would just say there's a lot of snakes in the industry. There's a lot of shifty people, a lot of shady people, a lot of people that really just want to take your ideas. Someone that, you know, sees your idea, sees your accomplishments, and they want that for themselves. But that's another thing about this industry, is that you can't hold grudges. You can't hold grudges, and you just got to keep trucking along, and you just got to keep working. I'd say that's probably the biggest negative. So I would say to probably really any young actor out there, have fun, but also just be mindful, be careful of the people that you are interacting with, and what they say and what they do. I haven't had any problem with the Barbra cast at all. I think everybody met. We were all hanging out at breakfast not too long ago, and it really was like our own little hashtag Bat family a little bit. You know, it really was. Everybody, we all got along. Jordy Mullins, me and that guy really hit it off real quick. Brian and I, he and I meet up frequently to discuss the script, to discuss the story, and we're pretty much kind of on the same page, almost quite literally. Leanne's awesome. She has a background in martial arts, and so I think she's definitely going to be literally kicking some ass. And we got Mateo, we got Trevor, we got David, we got a bunch of people, and we were all just so welcome, all just so nice and kind to everyone. And so it's like a dream come true, man. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to hang out with everybody more. Yeah.
Awesome. So on to my very last question. So what's next for you, like for the rest of 2021, like goal-wise, that you would like to announce on the show?
Yeah. Well, I do have my own short film coming up that we filmed last year during Halloween, called Broken Hearts at the End of the World. That was one that I self-produced and wrote. And then I asked a good buddy of mine, Herschel Patel. He wanted to get into it, and I was like, yeah, why don't you just take this script and run with it? And he was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And he was like, dude, thanks. And then we casted Emily Cruzman. She's probably like one of my best friends. Her and I have really connected really well. And we had great chemistry on set. So I definitely would love to work with her again in the future. And I'm just really excited to see, because we're in the editing process of that now. That's coming out in April. We don't have an Instagram link for it, but we do have a Facebook link. So everybody can go check out Broken Hearts at the End of the World on Facebook, or you can follow me. You can follow Herschel on Instagram, because we keep posting about it and we keep talking about it a lot. And then just a bunch of other goals, I guess. Obviously Barbra, and just hoping some other stuff kind of pans out and hopefully heads my way. If not, I'm just going to keep on trucking along and keep doing what I do.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Thomas, for appearing on my show. It's been such a pleasure having a chat with you. To anyone that hasn't seen Thomas's work, definitely go support Thomas as the role of Scarecrow in Barbra, coming very soon. Also, make sure to go support Broken Hearts. And any last final thoughts that you would like to say to people on the show?
Was it okay to not be wearing pants throughout this entire interview?
It's all good.
Okay.